Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 146 here on season 1. And today we are talking about starting a business. So this question comes from Jenny Felicitas. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. If not, anyways, everybody knows I'm bad at pronouncing last names, and I definitely think I got the first name right. So, anyways, Jenny says, "This is super exciting. First time viewer here. I have a question, but not sure if it's relative to the channel," which is a question. We want a family business and have an idea for an app. How do you recommend starting your own business? Is there a backstory to how you made the leap? So this is a 3-part question. First answer to the first question, which is it relevant? All questions are pretty relevant to my channel. I don't talk about a whole lot of business. I try to, but a lot lately I've been talking about investments. We do actually plan on launching a 52-week series or 52-video series here shortly. I just got to manage to record some videos on front load, so that way I can have about a week to 2 weeks to record those 52 videos, then edit them and get them uploaded, so that way you guys can enjoy the experience also. So yes, this is relative to my channel. Next question is, how do you recommend starting your own business? So first of all, apps are a great way to generate income and a great business to start. It's really simple. You just have to know how to code the app that you want to develop. And it's really good, especially if it can be somewhat viral, or if you can create that viral aspect or market it and generate usage, like app usage basically. So just to start, like my first point would be just start it, right? Like that's the only way you're going to be able to start. Like most people are kind of like, well, I don't know. If you have an idea, somebody else probably has the same idea in the world, and so it's kind of like a race. It's a competition to beat them to the market. You want to beat them, and then be like, you want to basically have the market infiltrated, so that when they look to start their app, they're like, oh, well, somebody's already doing that in that space, maybe we shouldn't do that, and then they're going to start backing off. So the more you get stuff out there, the less competition probably, until you get to a certain point and people see, oh, that actually is valuable, then they'll get into the market also and create competition, which is great, because that actually makes the app that you're developing better along with the app that they're developing. So competition creates a better product, actually. So first of all, every business is different, just in the way that they start, in the way that they come about. How I would start a specific like app business. First of all, just like quick caveat, every choice that you make always comes with risk and reward. And typically we try to make the best choice that gives us the most reward and the least amount of like negative consequences. And starting your business can definitely have a huge upside, but it also has that downside of whether you invest money, you could potentially lose it. Whether it's just you're investing time and then it fails, you lose that time, or some people would believe that you lose that time. I believe that you still gain the experience, and moving forward, you can apply that experience to somewhere else, either in a different business field or a different aspect of your life. So I don't believe that it's all completely wasted, but it does definitely give you the option to fail as a business owner. So first, what I would do is I would audit myself. That's typically what you need to kind of understand: your strengths versus your weaknesses. What are you really, really good at? What are you not so good at? Are you great at marketing? Are you great with people? Are you great at selling? Are you great at just app developing? Like what? Or are you just great at like writing content? Like what's your strength versus what do you need to run a successful business? So for me, I am great at a lot of things. I'm like very good at doing a lot of different things. So I'm kind of like a jack of all trades. So it's very hard for me to be like, well, I'm not good at that. But there is a few things like writing descriptive content, writing listing postings, and writing blogs, and writing content for a website or whatever. I am terrible at. So for me, it would be great to find a partner that could come along and help me do that, or for me to struggle through that in the beginning stages, so that way I could keep costs down and keep ownership of the company. So once you audit yourself, then you need to either find people who, like I already said, you need to find either people who are going to complement that and are going to pick up where you're weak at and complement the strengths that you're already good at, And basically, you can either hire those people, or you need to, like I already said, become decently good at those aspects that you're stink at. So, say if you're terrible at accounting, but you're running a business, you need to either get good at accounting to take care of your expenses and profits and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes tax season, or you need to contract that out or partner with someone who can do that for you. And then from there, then it's because it's an app, you need to actually build an app. So either you can try and build it yourself, which the pros of that would be that there's no money invested. You don't have to invest much money into building an app yourself. However, it is going to cost you a lot of time because you do have to build that. The second one would be for you to contract out, which is where you're going to pay someone to develop the app for you. And the pros on that would be that it doesn't cost, or it doesn't cost you any time. But however, on the other end, it's going to cost you a lot of money. And then if you need to make any changes or anything like that, you're going to be going back to that contract and having them adjust the app, which is going to cost you more money. So you have no clue how the actual app works in the code form. And then the third kind of option would be for you to partner with another person. That's going to cost you some equity in your company. They're probably going to want maybe 50% or whatever, 49% or 25% or something, which is going to, in essence, give you less money. So if you were to make $100 instead, you would be making $75 and they would be taking $25. So it's going to hurt what revenue that you're trying to bring in for your family with having a partner. And then all the aspects of them managing their time wisely and everybody being on the same page can create some problems. However, if you find a good partner, it really does work out really well. From there, I would move on to market research. You need to find out if there's a demand like that for your product or for your app. And then kind of, do you think that it's going to work better if you sell directly to the consumer on like the Google Store or the Android platform? Or do you plan on going strictly to business, making it exclusive to businesses, and licensing and that kind of rights? So where, like, just because I know a little bit about your app, would you partner with like different yoga studios and that kind of stuff so that they can use the app to help advance their clients' overall experience in their studio or whatever it may be? And then from there, you need to focus on marketing, because you want to kind of create a buzz before you actually release the app, so that way when the app comes out to market, you get some quick downloads. You get a lot of people downloading the app really quick, which will help boost the like rankings on Apple and Android and that kind of stuff. So you want to create like this hype around the app before it actually gets released. So you're looking at some overhead there. The other option would be for you to wait till the app is released and then try to promote it. However, I think that it works better if you starting to promote it about a month and a half before, and then go also hard about a month and a half later. And then around that time, you probably know if your app is going to be picking up or if it's not. And then at that point, maybe consider cutting your losses. I would also recommend social media is a great place to start. I would also contact the local businesses about placing flyers in their offices, different yoga studios, different. I know that the app is more like meditative, so maybe like gyms, different places that people, are more that kind of mindset of meditating. Maybe even like Christian, like Taekwondo or whatever, like places where that's kind of a general practice. Boom, boom, boom. And then last question is and then I would also have an exit plan if things like don't work out. So, and stock trading, we have a stop loss, which is basically like if stuff doesn't work out, like we're getting out at this point because we're cutting our losses and we're leaving. So at some point you have to have an exit plan, and what's your exit plan to make sure that it doesn't actually hurt people further than that, basically. So you're not going into debt, or you're not basically like restricting your family or whatever it may be. So our story, what's our story, or is there a backstory to how you made the leap? So yes, there is a little bit of a backstory, and I'll try to cover this real quick, so that way this video is not super long-winded. But basically our backstory is that we wanted to be able to travel and be able to help as many people as we can, regardless of what we were doing, and didn't want to be restricted to like being locked down to like our 9-to-5 job. So we knew that we had to create something that was online, e-commerce, and then also create a platform that we could reach viewers. And so that's why it's kind of like a two-part. It's like our YouTube channel and then our Etsy and online business. So we saved up basically 1 year's wages for me. So my salary, we saved up that for 1 year. And then once we had that amount, we decided that it was time for me to quit. And when I quit, I had no direction on what kind of business we were going to actually do, which I do not recommend because it took us about a month and a half to figure out exactly how it was all going to kind of come together. Which, yeah, I don't recommend that, which sounds like you're ahead of me because you actually kind of have an idea on what you want to do. And then basically from there, a month and a half later, we decided to invest in a machine that would help us make signs. And at this point, we really didn't have a client base, but I had worked for a small business already a few years prior to that did a lot of e-commerce sales, so a lot of online business kind of stuff using Amazon and Etsy and their own website to sell things. And so I had an idea on how that would all work out just because I had been in that system and helped create it. So I was like, okay, I'll take what I know from there and move it on to my woodworking company. From there, I started to work my craft trying to create signs and that kind of stuff, develop product because you got to have product out there in order for people to buy it, so it makes sense. Some days were a lot easier than others. I would wake up, get really productive, and the other days were not productive at all. It would be like I worked for 2 hours, which is something that's hard in business in general, especially when you own your own business, because working a 9 to 5 or working for someone else, you're required to be there or else they'll fire you. When you work for your own company, if you don't show up to work, you just don't make money. And so some days you can be like, well, I don't have to show up to work. But it's a really important, and you got to be really extremely overly self-motivated to wake up and work those 8 hours a day. So it's definitely, that's been a struggle for me. I'm not superly overly self-motivated. So that's definitely been a struggle for me, which I have definitely enlisted some help with keeping me motivated. Basically, so it's been just over a year since we launched our business, and I quit my job. I quit my job last August. And so this is the first month. Last month, October, was the first month that we actually broke even. So my wife's income plus my income paid for our bills, plus we were able to save some money. So that's extremely exciting. It's been super crazy going through the year and being like, when are we going to actually break even? How's this all going to work? Do I go back to work? Do I not go back to work? What do I do? And at this point, it's kind of more settled that, hey, it actually can work. We just got to continue to put in the work to continue to grow it. So, yeah, basically we broke even, meaning we didn't have to borrow anything from our savings, and we were able to invest still some of our money. So, I don't know if this is actually going to take you a year to set it up, but that's definitely our story. And we know each other personally, so if it would be something that you and your husband would like to sit down and talk with my wife and I about, we would be more than happy to kind of steer you guys in the right direction and try to give you our advice and some of our pitfalls and how, some instruction on how we would go about definitely laying out a business plan and that kind of stuff. So anyways, I appreciate the question, but let's go ahead and dive into the question of the day, which is very short. And it says, how do you like your eggs? And the question answer that is, I don't like eggs at all. But anyways, if you guys have any questions regarding Stash, Acorns, or Robinhood, as well as general investing advice, business, Etsy, or coaching, feel free to post those questions down below, and I will try to get them on the next episode. And until next time, don't forget to subscribe up here and check out this video, and then check out this other video right here. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.